Parents, you know it's tough. You want to keep tabs on the games your kids are playing with, but it's hard to monitor everything yourself. Well, last week on In Focus, we took you inside the virtual world of augmented reality gaming. Tonight, we look at how those apps are being monitored.
We showed you a handful of shooting apps that turn your phone into a virtual scope and your world around you into the targets. Now we take a deeper look at the rating systems for these apps and what some say needs to be done. These are apps that we downloaded for free within minutes. They're games that turn your smartphone into a virtual weapon, so you can make a kill shot on just about anyone. Is this more realistic than you expected?
It's horrifying, horrifyingly realistic.
We introduced you to Dr. Barbara Howard last week. She's a pediatric consultant and says such violent games brought into reality will be detrimental for any age player, but her main concern, the kids.
This is the most horrible message that you can send about your friends, is that they should somehow be dead at your hand. And so to treat that trivially devalues all of our humanity.
Dr. Howard says it's just as easy for kids to quickly download these same games.
The parents are probably not aware that the children are doing them, and the children no doubt are aware that if the parents knew, that they would stop them. And so I think that you're not safe just because you're not hearing from your child about these games.
And unlike traditional video games, some of the newer apps aren't even rated.
It's a pretty Wild West.
Patricia Vance is the president of the Entertainment Software Rating Board. They've been stamping ratings on video games along with content descriptors for 20 years. But she admits much has changed since they first got into the game.
There's really been an explosion of devices, and the nature of the games on different devices is different.
Every video game sold at retail carries an ESRB rating. You know them best as the mark on the front of the box, most commonly E for everyone. But the ratings go all the way up to adults only for more mature content.
Those are incredibly helpful to parents when they're really trying to make that decision as to, is this okay?
But apps have changed the game.
75% of parents regularly check ESRB ratings when they purchase a game. That's not the case in a lot of these newer platforms, in part because they don't recognize the ratings. They don't even, in many cases, know that they're there.
The ratings aren't required on apps. Vance says it's up to the storefront or platform to determine what the ratings policies should be. And many times, there's no rhyme or reason behind which apps are rated and which aren't.
Film ratings are out there, TV ratings are out there. Video game ratings are out there and have been for decades. We think that it's important, the industry thinks it's important to provide that information to consumers. So it's not a law, but it's certainly a good practice.
She says ESRB has rated over 20,000 gaming apps, most of them on Windows Phone. But she says other companies like Apple and Google have their own rating system.
It's very much based on, the self-reporting and there's no third party checking the accuracy.
Okay, so it's actually that same company that's doing it.
Yeah.
ESRB is working on an initiative that they've been developing with other game ratings boards around the world, trying to get consistency across all platforms.
Well, look, there's a lot of trust. Over 20 years, we've been providing this rating information. There's 85% of parents with children who play video games are aware of the ESRB ratings. They trust the ESRB ratings. They use the ratings.
Having a consistent rating system and descriptions on why games got those ratings would make it easier for parents. Vance says all devices have settings to block content based on ratings. It's just a matter of which games are rated. We've reached out to a handful of companies for comment regarding their policies on app ratings. So far, we have not heard back. Now, Google has a set of instructions on their website on how developers can rate their own Google Play apps. They have 4 levels: everyone, low maturity, medium maturity, and high maturity. Apple also lists their ratings on their site, but they do it by numbers. Parents can go in and set restrictions on apps with certain number ratings. One of the big concerns about children and violent games is that they will become desensitized to violence. For that side of the story, log on to our website, abc2news.com/infocus.